Welcome to episode 13 of my album review series. I review all my physical CDs. In this case, I had to look back because it's like opposite as I'm looking at the screen. Gets me confused. Let's jump right in. Actually, I forgot to generate my random number beforehand, so let's do that right now. Let's generate this guy. Okay, a number from 1 to 5 for the rows. Okay, here we go. It's row 3, and a number from 1 to 23, so we can see, because there's 23 CDs in the thing. 19, so row 3, 19, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Wow, that took too long. It's kind of boring, but guess what? It was worth it because we've got close to the edge. Oh my gadzooks. Yes's seminal art rock, prog rock. It is the ultimate in prog rock excess, and it is fantabulous. If you don't like prog rock, I can kind of understand, but you gotta dig it. I mean, it's either you hate it or you love it. But I mean, this cover, this is a Roger Dean, so it's just like a color gradient, just a color gradient. But then, like, look inside here. Look at this. Look at that beauty, you know? Let me try to even this out. You know, just fantastic. I'm just showing you the art right now, but it's worth it to see this. I mean, there's a little booklet. Here's them on stage. Here's another one of the band. Maybe, oh, see, it's opposite. Okay. Some more band. Okay, right. It was the Fragile booklet that had more artwork in the middle. All right, get in there. Let's talk about the actual album. This is the first Yes album. When did this come out? 1972, 73, something like that? Yeah. Can't see it. Yep, 72. It was the first Yes album that followed the formula of having one song as the first side, which is about 22 minutes, and then having 2 songs as the second side. So crazy, you know, this is the height of prog, right? And it's hard. At first, you know, when I first heard this album, I was like, what the hell is going on? And I had liked Fragile and the Yes album. I listened to those. Those were a little bit more accessible. I listened to Close to the Edge. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it's this barrage of noise, and it's just like, what's happening? But it was one of those albums that kind of grew on me. You know, you listen to it again, It's like you mature into it. It grows on you. It's like you become mature enough to listen to it. That sounds kind of weird, but it's true. It's true. It's something that you get steeped in it. So the first song is the title track, Close to the Edge, and it's just huge. Well, in length and everything else. I mean, one reviewer put it that it's the longest pop song because it has a pop structure. I don't know if I agree with that, simply because I don't understand it. But I mean, the song starts out, it's like you hear nature sounds, right? You just hear nature sounds, like low nature sounds, like just kind of birds, like a little brook. And it's slowly getting louder, and you're like, what the fuck am I listening to? Especially in this age of everything's happening all the time, and you're like, I want to see what am I trying to say it is? ADD, yeah, that kind of thing. Like, you're switching MTV, but MTV is old now, so. But it's just slowly building, and then you hear, like, this little guitar, like, and then it hits, and then it goes, it's like such an intense opening. It's like, wow, there's like this wind noises, and it goes like, and it's like this really syncopated. It sounds better than that, but it's very intense, and you're like, what's happening? You're like in a warp, and you're like, whoa! And then it goes, and then you hear like this kind of, it stops, everything drops out, and there's like the kind of angelic John Anderson voice, like, something like that, and then the signature riff of the song is like, Ugh, great. And that's a repeated motif. And then we go into the song, and it's the first structure. And it's like broken down into acts, right? So Close to the Edge. The first one is A Solid Time of Change. And I think that's that opening part. They don't really say where it is. And then the second part, I mean, obviously this is one track. They just segment it like an opera or like a classical musical piece. You know, these were some of the guys who were saying they've moved beyond rock music. Somewhat pretentiously, I would say. But anyway, the part 2 is Total Mass Retain, and that's like when the lyrics come in. You know, Total Mass Retain. Okay, I cannot even vocalize this song. It's nuts. Part 3, I Get Up, I Get Down. Yeah, that one's great. I mean, that's when it kind of mellows out a little bit. It's like, I get up. I get down, I get up. And then it's like, ba-na-na. It's like the heaven part. You're like, ba-na-na-na-na-na. Then it's like a minor chord, like, ba-na-na-na-na-na-na. It's like, whoa, what's happening? It takes you on a whole journey. And then Seasons of Man is part 4. I think that's when it brings it all around. It's like this big epic, like, craziness. It's so nuts. And then, okay, and then you flip it over. You're like, what can possibly happen to top it? And nothing will, right? Nothing's going to top the first song. But, and it's like, and You and I, right? It's still a great song, I think. It's a little more mellow, The Chord of Life. And then, here's the first part. This one's separated in parts 2. I think it's like 12 minutes or something. Eclipse, The Preacher, The Teacher, and Apocalypse. It's a little more mellow. It kind of traverses all these different sounds. I mean, let me just say this album is insanely complex and textured and layered. So much happening that it's overwhelming. At least at first, until you get into it. I mean, it's still overwhelming, but it's like you need, you know, it's not something that you can just jump into and be like, all right, yeah, I understand what's happening with this. But it's worth it, in my opinion. I think it's worth it if you're into this. And then the final song is Siberian Khatru, which has, like, if I recall, a pretty funky, sweet bass line. Well, you know, Chris Squire is one of the greatest bassists. He's totally cool. You know, so I think he was kind of dominant on a lot of the Yes albums, you know, as kind of bass-driven to kind of hold things down. Bill Bruford, the drummer on this album, is just phenomenal. Just the picture of restraint. You know, he saves his drum hits. He plays with space. He's super syncopated. It's just incredible. He also produced the album. He like was doing all the mastering and everything, which is crazy. He also plays piano. In addition to all that, John Anderson, just, you know, people make fun of John Anderson because he talks like this. And he sings like that too, and his lyrics are kind of incomprehensible. But they're an emotion, right? He's singing about something that's super important to him, and you can feel that, and he kind of transports you to this other world because you can't understand it. Of course it's another world. It's like beyond human understanding. I mean, you could say it's pretentious, and maybe it is, but it's also kind of fun to depart into this, you know? This place. Do you want to kind of glimpse that? Steve Howe, the guitarist. Crazy. I mean, the dude is amazing. So much going on with that guitarist. And the incomparable Rick Wakeman on keyboards. Rick Wakeman. This is actually his second to last Yes album. The last one was Tales of Topographic Oceans. I don't actually own that one. That one's a double-sided album, which is like, oh my god. It's based on like the Bhagavad Gita or something. I don't know. It's like, it's intense. That one's, I don't think it sold as well. Anyway, but Rick Wakeman, he was like a session keyboardist for a long time. He was like, really good. He played on like Ziggy Stardust and stuff. And Just like he's one of my favorite musicians. He's so good. He can add emotion to a piece in just these simple chords and just really tie something together. You know, it's the kind of interweavings in this album is just great. So, my final thoughts on this album. If you like prog rock, you probably have heard this album. If you don't like prog rock or don't know what prog rock is, don't start with this album. Don't. Work your way up. Get there. Feel it. If you like this album, if you understand this album, I don't know if I do. It's an accomplishment. But I feel like I'm scaring people away from it. I'm being too harsh on its complexities. It's good. It's just that if you have trouble with 22-minute songs, that's going to be a problem. But, you know, it's not for everybody, but it's for cool people. So maybe that's you. That's what I think.